Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm starting a new project and I'm going to have a few videos up throughout the month of August because in August it's going to be a video a day for the entire month, so be on the lookout for that. So I'm just starting to put stuff in this container so that everything is all together, and when I'm ready to work on this project I can just grab it. So I want to do a 6x8 album. This is a simple stories album, and it has some page protectors in there, but I don't think there's going to be enough. So I did have this from Bo Bunny. It has, does it say how many? I don't know if it says how many, but there are 40 of them. So there's 40 of them in there. Then when I was going through my stuff, I was putting stuff away and I found this, and it talks about all, all the books. Read this, write it down, new favorite, currently reading, obsessed, details. So I love to read. And this album is going to be about what I read in 2018. So I'm going to start with, I don't know if I'm going to start with the cover page, because I find if you start with the cover page, then, but I'm going to leave a 6x8 just open. Is that 6x8? Or yeah, that looks like 8 inches. Yeah, about 6x8. And so I might not do that first. I might start just, starting with January, February, and I think I'm going to try to make them consistent. So in January, I'm going to put what my TBR was, so to be read, and then which one I did read, and then I want to take, print a picture of all the books that I read, and then kind of write a little bit about what I thought of it. And what I like is that some of the stamp sets I have, like there's like stars, so that I'm going to be consistent with that. I'm going to stamp it and I'm going to write down what I rated it. And I have all kinds of, other things that has to do with reading. I have this stamp set right here from Tim Holtz. I'll show you on this side. I love that. So I have this small one and I have the big one. They're both from Tim Holtz. So you have this size and this size. So I want it, I'm going to be using both. I might as well put that in there. And then I have this one that is just like a shelf. So I might stamp that out and then just, cut just part of it and put it on a card or something. And then I have this one that you can make your own shelves. This is by Simon Says Stamps. It is called To Thine Own Shelf, and I don't think they have this anymore. Maybe they were just out of stock. But so those are, and now I'm going to keep looking in my stash to see what else I can add in there. And I also knew that I had a few Project Life cards that were just for books. So I have I Love Books, Happiness is Getting Lost in a Book, Currently Reading, and Reading List. So I'm going to keep that in there. Keep this in there. I'm going to keep the page protectors and these, and anything that I find, I'm just going to stick it in there. But another thing that I'm going to be working with is my Project Life cards, which I have been kind of ignoring. Oh, look at that. Another book one. That's going to go right in there. Yeah, that I've been kind of ignoring is my Project Life cards. So I'm hoping with this project, right now as I'm starting this project, I've already read 70 books. So it's not as if I'm only going to be talking about 10 books. It'll probably be close to 100 books by the time I'm done. So I thought it'd be fun to do that. I don't know that I'll be doing that every year, but I thought it'd be fun to do it because I think this will be the year that I've read the most books. I think the first year was like 70, last year was about 90, and I think this year is going to be about 100 because I'm already at 70 and we're only in July. So I'm going to keep these close, plus I have tons of other Project Life packs that I have that I will be using in this, and of course I'll be using some die cuts, stickers, all that kind of stuff. So I just thought I'd show you what I have for now to get started. I'm thinking of using this also. This is something new that I just got. It's from Pink Paisley Turn the Page. I got it from Peachy Cheap, and I got quite a few pieces of that collection. So I think I'm going to put that in there just because I love the colors. And so we'll get started with that. Okay, so I've already changed my mind. I'm going to take this for my cover sheet. It has 4 2x2s and 2 4x4s, and I'll do something like books I read in, and then 2018, and then put a little bit of sort of decorations here on the side. And then here on this side, what I'll probably do is put my goals for the year. That's what I'll do. I'll put all my goals here that I had for the entire year for my whole reading. And then on the first page, then I'll start with January, because I'm going to divide it by month. And I found a few more stamp sets that I'm going to pull in. I got these Lawn Fawn Milo because they're awesome. They're little. I use them all the time, as you can tell. Some of them don't even stay on the thing anymore. Then I bought this on AliExpress. Look how cute those are. And they were like dirt cheap. I think I paid like $2. But it has a stack of books there, books to read, reading lists, pages read. And some of the things that I want to do on a monthly thing is how many books I read in that month. I want to talk about all the books. I did print, this is only January. I read 12 books in January. So I'm going to have a little spot. I'm not going to say much about the books, but I'm going to put the stars that I gave them, what I felt, what I thought about the book and everything. And so most of them, I think I'm going to try and do like on something like this, maybe. If I do it on 4 like this, then I'll put the book on one side and what I thought of it on the other. And then like maybe like this. And then if I use bigger ones, then I'll just put the whole thing on a 4x6. So that way I can use different configurations of these things, because these things aren't cheap. So I'm going to try to use what I have. The whole 6x8, I don't know if I'll use that. I might just take it out. Well, we will see. We shall see. Okay, so now I'm going to put you on fast forward. I'm not going to do all this real time. I just grabbed a bunch of 3x4 Project Life cards. These came with some Project Life kits, so hey, I might as well try to use them. And then I have little 2x2 little cards. Try to use those. So just to try to use stuff that I already bought. And I stopped doing Project Life. I use some of them sometimes in my regular scrapbooks, but I'm not using them enough. Like for the amount that I have, I need to use them more. So I thought this little project would be fun. So now I'm going to put you on fast forward and we'll get started. Okay, so we'll get started with the month of January. And just to let you know, I kind of did a whole month, and then once I finished the month, then I went back and sort of did the cover page, and I kind of changed my mind. Like I said, I wasn't going to do a 6x8. I did 2 4x4s and 2 2x2s, and then I decided, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to put a full page, a 6x8 in between that in January, and that's where I'm going to put all my goals for the year, and then I'll start the month. So I thought that would be fun. Or maybe I'll put my goals in front of it. Yeah, maybe I'll put my goals in front of it. But anyway, that's going to be another video that I'll be doing. So the first thing I did was I went on Goodreads, and I went to the beginning of the year. I would click on the book so that it would, fill my screen of my phone, and then I would take a picture, and then with my iPhone, I don't know if that works with any other phone, but you can edit the photo right away so that, if it took some of like the time on the phone or anything like that, you can make it so that it just takes part of the picture that you want. So I went in my pick frame app.
I did the frame that has 2, and then I did, you can change the ratio, and I did the ratio 4:3. And then I went through and printed all the pictures that I read in January, which was 12. So I was able to do 2 per picture. So it was only 6 pictures, and then I cut them down. And then I went through my project life cards, and the first thing I did was kind of match up all the colors with my photos. And then I, mounted the photos on the card. And those cards, I made sure that they were like a full color or a stripe or something like that. And as you can tell, I made it so that it kind of coordinates the picture. And then I had a stamp that had a 5-star. And then for each book, I'm going to put the rating directly on the card. And then I put a little bit about the book, or a little bit about how I felt about the book. Mainly what I'm going to be using with this project, I'm going to be using this sticker sheet, and it's meant for planners, but it's perfect. It's the right size. And then a couple of sticker books from My Mind's Eye, again meant for planners. I'm going to use that too. I also have a couple of packages that came with project life cards. I'm going to try to use those. And then I'm going to end up using some of the die cuts from a Pink Paisley collection that I just got in from Peachy Cheap. And each book, I'm just going to put a little synopsis of what I thought about the book. So now that, I kind of told you all the stuff that I'm going to be using also some washi tape. I am at this point going to be using a heart and then some stickers and putting the number of the book, but later on you'll see how I change it, and I love it so much more. So I don't mind changing up stuff if I find that I need to. So we'll talk a little bit about the books, because I've had so many people ask me to share a little bit about the books that I'm reading. So the first book was called The Language of Thorns, and it's by Leigh Bardugo, and it's set in the world of the Grisha world, and it's sort of tales or fairy tales that they would tell their kids in their Grisha world, and I really enjoyed it. So it was all different stories, so I rated it 4-star. The second book was called I Was Here by Gail Foreman, and this was really heart-wrenching. It was about a girl that her friend committed suicide, and she had no idea why she did that, and then she kind of went on a journey to find out why that happened. Now this is where I decide, okay, I need to number the books, so just by flipping through I know what book I'm on, and I'm going to use this heart, but that will change in February when I do the February page. So the third book is called Dress Codes for Small Towns, and that is by Courtney Stevens. And that was a book recommendation that I got from Books and Lala, so from Kayla. And this is one of her favorite books of all time. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to have to read it. So I just got this on ebook, and I read it in a couple of days. I rated it 4 stars, not 5 stars like she did. I really enjoyed it, but it's not one of my all favorite time books, but I really enjoyed it. And it's about self-discovery and what it's like to live in a small town. And, they go on this journey. It's really character driven, but they go on this journey that they try to save this festival that's, being threatened of being canceled. Really enjoyed it. I would recommend, to read it. Now, the next book is Six of Crows. Now, last year, I read the entire Grisha trilogy, like in 2017, because I wanted to read her books in the order that she wrote them. They say that you don't need to read the Grisha trilogy before you read this. I guess now it's called the Shadow and Bone trilogy, but I think you do, because it talks a lot about the magic and stuff. And in here, they mention it, but they don't explain it. So I think if you don't know about the different kinds of magic, it would be kind of confusing. So, but I read that trilogy first, and then I read The Six of Crows. Now, that trilogy for me was like a 4-star trilogy. And then this is a duology, and it's got Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and that was a 5-star reading duology for me. This is about a group of, I was going to say friends, but they're not friends at the beginning. They're like thieves, and they get put together because they need to go on this mission to save someone. And so they come together to go on this mission, but they do become friends, and it's just one of my favorite 6 people in a book. I just love the adventure that they went on. I love Kaz. And so I gave it 5-star. Would totally broke my this book didn't break my heart, but Crooked Kingdom which will come in a few, because I'm the type of person, by the way, that if I start a series, I got to finish it. So I usually don't start series that I have to wait a year for the book to come out. So usually I buy them right away, but I wait till it's closer to all the books being done, and then I will binge them. So the next book is from Sarah Pinborough, and it's called Behind Her Eyes, and this is a thriller. It was a good book. I couldn't give it a full 5 stars because I guessed the ending, and it's a pretty messed up ending, but I guessed it. So yeah, just the fact that I guessed it and it's pretty messed up, I couldn't give it a whole 5 star because I guessed it. But it was really good. I would suggest to read it. It was really good. I don't want to give away too much because it's a thriller, and you should go into thrillers not knowing anything. Now, the next book is from Erin Watt, which is a duo writer, so it's 2 people writing it. And it's the Royals series, so it's got 5 books. And I didn't know that all 5 books weren't out. Now, thankfully, the last book came out in March. Now, like I said, I read books right away in a row. And then I got to the 4th book, and it finished on a cliffhanger. And I had to wait 2 months or a month. Maybe it was a month before I got the last book. And I was like, no. But as soon as it came out, I bought it the day that it came out, and I finished the series. So this is about a girl that her mom dies, and she thinks that she's all alone, so she tries to survive on her own, and then this man comes and takes her away. She doesn't know if she's being kidnapped or what's going on, but he's rich, and she goes to live with 5 brothers, which are super mean to her at the beginning. But it's an adult. They're teenagers, but it's got adult content. So it's an adult series. And that was easily a 4-star read for me. Some of them I think I rated a little bit higher, so maybe a 4.5 series. Really enjoyed it. I got them all on ebook, so I don't have the physical books of any of those, but you'll see all the ones that come. I've pretty much read the whole thing in January. So the first book is Paper Princess. I won't talk about, all of them because it's just a series about how it evolves. And the first 3 books is about one brother, and the last 2 books is about another brother. So the second one is Broken Prince, Twisted Palace is the 3rd, and Fallen Heir is the 4th, which I read them all in January. And then the last one I'll talk about when I get to it, and I think it was in March, because that's when it came out. Now, the next one is a young adult thriller, and it was First We Were Four. Now, for me, that was like a 3.75. It was okay. I enjoyed it. It wasn't mind-blowing. It was good. It was okay. And it is about, they find a girl that was killed at their favorite spot, and it's just to figure out, you know, how she got there and all that stuff. So it was a good thriller. It was okay. I enjoyed it. I'll just say that when I was a child, I used to read a lot, and then I went through a phase where, you know, when I went to university and stuff, I stopped reading because you had to study so much. And then I read more. I think after Josh was born, when he was little, I read quite a bit then, and then I went years without reading because I discovered scrapbooking, and then scrapbooking took over my life. Now, 3 years ago, I started reading again, and I find that I've discovered so many more types of books than when I used to read before. And I think it's because of the internet, you know, because of BookTube. And I'll talk about some of my favorite booktubers too, so that, you know, if you're into books, you can go check them out. And so I've discovered way more different types of books, or genres, what they call it, than I would have before. The only types of books that I don't like is horror, because I'm a big chicken. So thriller is, you know, the scariest that I will do, and nonfiction, because I read to sort of, you know, take away my stress, not, you know, read really sad stuff. So that's my reasoning. I'm not saying that I'll never read nonfiction, but for now, I read because I like the being taken away in this fantasy world. So the next book that, you know, I read on the previous thing was Harry Potter. And this is my first time reading Harry Potter, and I absolutely love the books. I've seen the movies, but I haven't read the books. So of course I love Harry Potter. This is the 4th book, Fallen Heir, of the Royal series. And the last book that I read in January is Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. And this wasn't my favorite Colleen Hoover book. It was a 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I love Colleen Hoover books. You'll see that I read quite a bit of her books. And that's going to complete January. And stay tuned. In about a week or so, I'll have the second part. I figure I'm going to have about maybe 4 or 5 parts of me completing this little mini album. And don't forget, for the entire month of August, I'm going to be uploading a video a day. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up and maybe leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.